Okay, so I've created a user in the blog. That user is me, Erlickson. And now I want to go through some of the session management that goes on behind the scenes to present this welcome page with the name Erlickson on it. So it all happens through cookies. And if you go into MongoDB after you create a user, when you've completed the first part of the homework this week, you should see the following. I'm going to use blog, and I'm going to show collections. And you're going to see three collections: sessions, system.indexes, and users. Let's focus on the sessions and users collections. So db.users.find, you can see here that there's a user in this collection with the ID Erlickson, and that's me, with a hashed version of my password. And we're going to give you the logic to do the hashing. And then there's also something in the sessions collection, and that is an association between my web session and my username. So there's this long random, and that's going to be put into the browser cookie, and then it's associated with my username. Now if we go here into the web browser, I've installed a cookie utility, and if you click on it, you can see the cookie that my browser is presenting in this session. And you can see that it starts with AB and ends with F. And if you go here, you can see AB ends with F. That's the exact same string that's in the sessions table. So how does this session management work? Let's go over it. When the welcome page is presented, it's done through a GET request. And what happens is the browser sends a request via HTTP with the cookie present to your application, which is written in Python. And this is the blog application. And of course it uses Bottle to take the HTTP requests. And then the application makes a request using PyMongo to MongoDB. And it presents this session identifier, this session ID, and then it gets back a username. And then when the application responds, it responds with the username embedded in the HTML page. And then it says, welcome, Erlickson. And it does this through this process. Now, let's look at one other flow, which is the flow for logging in. So let's go through that. When you log in, there's a login page, and that login page has a username and password field on it. And it's presented via a GET request. You're going to put username and password in, and it's going to be sent via a POST request to your blog. And what the blog is going to do is check it against the credentials inside the users collection, inside MongoDB. And if it looks like a valid login, it's going to create an entry in the sessions collection. And that sessions collection, it's going to have this long session ID, which is going to become the cookie. So it's going to respond back with the session information, if it's a valid login. And then what's sent back to your browser is actually a redirect to the welcome page with the cookie set. And so your browser is going to round trip that and say, all right, and the redirect is to the welcome page. So then it's going to do a get on the welcome page. And so this is a round trip, because the browser gets a redirect and then does a get on the welcome page. And when it does that get, it's now going to present the cookie that it saw during the redirect, and that's going to produce this welcome Erlickson. All right, so that's the flow of how session management works inside the blog. And now I'm going to show you some of the internals of the blog so you're ready for this week's homework.